Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the #1 review of the new playlist, Soda Pop. And today we will be taking a look at this guy. This is Bundaberg of Queensland, Australia, Bundaberg root beer. This product is usually labeled one of two ways, root beer or sarsaparilla, all right? On the U.S. market, it is usually the root beer branding, all right? This product is, you can find this in the United States. And the reason for that is in March of 2018, Bundaberg entered into a business arrangement with Pepsi Cola to distribute Bundaberg products in the United States. This one, and the person to thank for this review is my brother-in-law, who did find this fairly locally. It was probably in a Wegmans, which is sort of a upper tier supermarket, at least in the Northeast. I'm not exactly sure what their range is. So it's an odd looking bottle. All right. It is an odd looking bottle. I'm going to be going over nutritional information. The bottle itself, you can see, has a odd cap. That is a pull tab cap, sort of like on old soda and beer cans, the teardrop openings where the whole thing came off. Eventually Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Budweiser got rid of them because when you pulled that tab, you pulled the whole metal piece off. I can remember from my youth those little tabs being everywhere, so they came up with the one that you just pop and it stays on the can unless you go out of your way to remove it. So I'm going to be running through this at a bit of a rate, and there's a reason for that. And there's also a reason why you're seeing this as the first soda review. Bit of an odd pick for the first soda. That's because this was not at the beginning of its grouping. This was at the end of a grouping over on the crossover, the report. I'm running through at a bit of a rate here because I'm fairly well versed in soda pop reviews now. The other channel did 17 or 18, the crossover, the report, and before that I was doing them on Patreon. There was probably another 11 or 12 over there. So, because of the type of bottle this is an odd ounceage. Okay, it's a 12.7 ounce can. All right, this is a brewed product. All right, the core ingredients that they use in this, outside of the carbonated water, is brewed for a certain amount of days. And on this one, it varies from product to product with them. This one, they are saying it's 3 days. All right, family-owned business, Australian. All true, all right? So, Bundaberg from Queensland, Australia, was formed in 1960 as Electra Breweries. 8 years later, the Fleming family, local family there, bought it, all right? And when they bought it, they changed the name to Bundaberg, all right? So, they named it after the town. The actual facility today is still there. It is a big barrel. No, I'm not kidding. It's a big barrel. It's like, it sort of looks like one of those barrels on its side, and like imagine if like half the barrel was buried underground. The roof is a curvature roof, and the whole building looks like a barrel, and it's colored likewise. So it's sort of a cool building. I hadn't seen it before. There is something surprising about this I will get to in a second, though. But first, we will go around to the nutrition. Now, it is a 12.7 ounce bottle, and that one serving is the entirety of the bottle. It's 190 calories, 0 fat. Sodium is coming in at 45 milligrams, which is 2% of your daily. Total carbs is 47 grams, which is 17% of your daily. And if one is diabetic, that is probably a couple grams more than you should be having in an entire meal. So, That said, do note if anybody's diabetic, you may want to take a pass on this particular product. All right. So all 47 grams of carbs is from sugars. All of those sugars are added. They are added sugars, and as far as added sugars goes, that is 94% of your daily. There is zero protein and no other significant nutrients available from this. In this little black box right there, it's best before date. The date is June 14th, 2021. It also has manufacturing information next to that down in here. It is made in Australia by Bundaberg Brewed Drinks, Pty Ltd. Pty, I have no idea what that is. Ltd is limited, obviously, but Pty, I don't know. This is what I didn't know, though. Underneath where it says it's made in Australia by what I just mentioned, it has bottled by Ink and Cirque, I guess it could be pronounced. And Cirque, it's like E-N in the beginning of the circle. Beverages. And Cirque Beverages of Cheshire, England. Now, I have reviewed a Bundaberg product before, and I did not notice that on that one. That one was their ginger beer, which that is their claim to fame, their ginger beer. I did not notice that, but I was very rough around the edges on soda pop reviews at the time, and I may have just missed it, literally. Okay, so then above that, they have barcode, obviously, and recycling information by state. And then they have an ingredients list. Now, usually I do not go through ingredients, but just to highlight what I was talking about before. Ingredients, number one, is carbonated water, obviously. Cane sugar, and then root beer brew. Now, this is what they are actually brewing, cooking, heating. Okay, so that is made up of water, sugar, molasses, ginger root, sarsaparilla root, licorice root extract, vanilla bean extract, and yeast. And then outside of that, added is caramel color, citric acid, preservatives, and an antioxidant. Okay, there's an antioxidant in it. I have no idea why. That's just thrown in at the end. This will be caffeine free. But that center part that's being brewed has actually all the original ingredients that used to be in sarsaparilla or root beer. You got the ginger root there, the sarsaparilla root, licorice root, and a little bit of vanilla. So that's interesting. This will be fairly close to the real deal. So with this, you're just going to pop it, and I was supposed to invert that on camera for you, and it comes off like that. I actually inverted it before the video, so on the invert, you just turn these products upside down. There is settling in them, all right? Don't do it hard. It's carbonated, obviously. You just turn it upside down once, and I usually count to like 7 or 10. All right, let me get a frosted glass. And we are at almost 9 minutes, and I haven't even tasted this yet, so maybe I'm not running through this at the rate I thought. Well, it smells good. All right, so it's really dark, very dark. No sort of tinge redness to it. It's just dark. Smells really good. It's not overbearing smell, though. It's not as strong as I thought it would be. Smells good, though. And it is good. It is good. So, there's definitely some vanilla going on in there, and it lightens it up. It tastes like root beer. It tastes like root beer that's sort of light on the palate. I don't want to get gay about this, but it's very refreshing. It's very sort of light, and there's almost sort of a there's almost, I don't know how to describe it. It's probably the vanilla with a little bit of the ginger. It's almost got like a background like fruity aspect to it, like fruit. Not that you could pick out what fruit, but it's really good. It's really good, and I could see drinking this even on like a really, really hot day here. Where I am at in southeastern Pennsylvania, we have we get pretty hot during the summer, but we have high humidity. And there have been some of the root beers I've reviewed before that are they're good, but they're sort of syrupy. They're really rich, and they feel almost thick. This is not that. This is very light, airy. The carbonation it's carbonated, but it's not like a Pepsi or a Coke carbonation. It's not going to hit your tongue and start foaming up or anything like that. It doesn't sting going back or anything. It is carbonated, but you're not going to really see it much looking at the glass. And I don't see how you could get this poured in a way there would be a head on it. So if people that like that, I know there are people that like that. You're not really going to be able to get it with this. It's the carbonation is very present, but it's almost like all the bubbles are a lot smaller. Like there's a lot of bubbles, but they're really, really small bubbles. I'm just talking off my ass now. Yeah. Small bubbles. I don't know. Soon I was talking about small bubbles, and that's why I turned it off. So let me take a look at. Okay, it's got to be something with the combination of brewing the ginger root, the licorice root, and the vanilla bean. The vanilla is doing something. It's not coming across as, oh, wow, this is vanilla root beer. Because they do make those, and I have reviewed them before. And they're like, oh, there's vanilla in this. The vanilla is not coming across as, oh, that's vanilla, like vanilla ice cream or whatever else. It's adding a light undertone to it that makes it sort of just, it's real. It makes it, I don't want to say it's light, like it doesn't have any flavor. It does. But it's not syrupy, it's not heavy, it's not overbearing in any way. It's sort of a light root beer flavor. It's been lightened up in a completely good way. So, you will be seeing more of these products. All right? You will be seeing the ginger beer one sooner than later, and I will see what else I can get on the American market. The American market is limited. They do have about, I think they have about 13 products in total. 4 of them are diet versions of other products. But the stuff in it, even if I didn't like it, it's one of those things that I could never, I'd have to admit that it's quality. As it is, I like their ginger beer. It was the real deal. I am not a fan of ginger beer myself, but I could appreciate that it was what it claimed. And this is like something I could drink on an extremely humid, high heat day here in sunlight and not feel like I was going to pass out afterwards because of like some sort of like sugar intake. So, another good showing. from Bundaberg of Queensland, Australia. This is the 12.7 ounce, I guess it's a hug bottle with a pull-off tab. Now, the drawback from this is they don't really... Okay. It goes back on, but I would not trust that. I would not leave that somewhere like precariously, like sitting on your dashboard or something like that, because it's good stuff. If you see it, if you're in the Northeast like myself, Wegmans will have it. It's worth a try. It's a root beer. It is very light, airy, refreshing. Okay? Thumbs up from me, though. I do hope you all are well. I will be back soon with a bubblegum review. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.